Hey everyone! Last night, Demi Lovato returned to the stage for their first show in 4 years, finally. The concert took place in Illinois and marked Demi's first proper show since Tell Me You Love Me tour. After the impressive vocals Demi threw at us when promoting the Holy F*** album, I was so curious to see how they would manage the sound when the tour started. Let's see the vocal highlights for this show and a little personal consideration by me after each song. First song, Holy F***. I have a feeling the studio version of this will have some upper harmonies that Demi preferred not to sing live. The low notes were nice, but the more Demi went down, the most airy and inaudible they got. It's okay though, Demi had little air to sing after phrasing the entire sentences, and the notes are at the bottom of their lower register. Next song, Freak. The E3s were pretty good actually. Belts were so spot on and clean, especially considering most of them were in a closed vowel. Next song, Substance. Demi had the stamina to phrase every note during the chorus, and the climax was pretty good too. I was a bit surprised when they didn't attempt the highest notes though, cause Demi tends to try it all during the first concerts of tours and yeah, but it's okay. The performance itself was spectacular and I'll be so much looking forward to other shows too. Next song, Eat Me. Kinda glad they lowered the key for this, but still phrasing 5 octave belts all over the place is not easy at all. But of course it's not a challenge to Demi, who could do them effortlessly and even sustaining the high note. Next one, Confident. I was a bit surprised with the key being lowered for this one. I don't know why, but it's not for vocal reasons, that's for sure. Demi still has the range and the comfort up there. But the belts were so spot on here. Demi did not put tension around her neck at all when singing the higher parts. Next songs, here we go again, Remember December. Demi sounded just like the studio version. Keys were lowered here too, even though Demi already performed Remember December in a lowered key since ever. These songs from Demi's second album have so much phrasing in the chorus, which can cause Demi's vocal cords to hurt after all the high belting, just like in Need Me. Again, not a challenge at all for them. Next, La La Land, La La, and Don't Forget Medley. La La Land gave me so much nostalgia, even though I was hoping to hear the high note, cause it's been like a decade since we've heard it the last time. Don't Forget was a pretty awesome vocal highlight. Demi's voice obviously changed a lot since the Don't Forget days, but I was shocked to see how bright her head voice was and how spot on every note in the song was placed. Next one, The Art of Starting Over.
But it didn't take long to realize that the woman in me does not cry. For a man who is a boy, he does not deserve me. I let the darkness out. I let the darkness, oh, I let the darkness,
I am so happy Demi put this into the setlist, even though I was bummed to hear Dancing with the Devil live, but I'm just glad something from their latest album made into the setlist cut. Vocally, I liked the vocal changes overall. The run was surprisingly good and I was happy to hear it, cause we don't hear Demi often harmonizing runs like they did here. I missed a bit the other high notes throughout the final part of the song, and I know that with time and the tour itself, the high note will be executed with no pitch problems at all. Next, Forever for Me and Iris medley. Low notes were a bit harder to hear, but Demi still hit them. Belts were shockingly good. I was so hyped to see the high notes in Forever for Me, since Demi hasn't teased us with any snippets from this climax, so my hopes were high and Demi surpassed them absolutely. Next, Sorry Not Sorry. I'm really glad this song made it to the setlist, cause it was the only song we had an intentionally 5 live. The high note was better than the ones we had in 2020, and reminded me of some Tell Me You Love Me tour attempts too. It was great, but I'm sure Demi's gonna get it straight on the next concert. The high belts in the final chorus were fire too. Next, City of Angels. I really missed some of the high notes on the last chorus at this one, especially since Demi teased this song to us multiple times, so my hopes were so high. The performance itself was great, it was perfect, everything was really well placed, belts were clean, phrasing and sustaining were awesome too. It's just that my hopes were high and it kinda let me down a bit. But knowing Demi as I know, they may pull off a very confident moment soon, like this one. Next, Skyscraper and 29.
Skies are falling, I'm watching, catching teardrops in my hands. Like I'm made of glass. You can take everything I have. You can break everything I am. Like I'm made of glass. Like I'm made of paper. Oh, you wanna try and tear me down? I will be rising from the ground like a skyscraper. Paddle on the line. Finally 29. Funny just like 17, 29. Finally 29. 17 would never cross my mind.
This was the best Skyscraper performance since 2016 maybe. Head voice was sparkly and belts were so well executed with no trouble at all. 29 was a mood. I love how angry Demi sang every part, and I love how they are not scared to try the notes. The head voice attempt was such a surprise for me. Next, Heart Attack.
You make me go. I'm the red one, let it show. Think I'd have a heart attack. I think I'd have a heart attack. So scared I'll take off and I run. I'm flying too close to the sun, and I burst into flames. I think I'd have a
Now that was a song I never thought it would make into the setlist, but it makes sense to include it since all the TikTok hype it received. I just hope Demi is okay performing it. Again, Demi lowered the key too in this song, and it was the first time since 2013 Demi did the flames alternating notes just like the studio version.
and I burst into flames. And I burst into flames.
Also, for the high note at the end of the song, I just have one thing to say. Bring it on! Next, Skin of My Teeth.
I'm just trying to keep my head above water. I'm just starting and I'm your daughter. I'm your father. I'm the skin of my teeth. Won't you try and stop this with me?
Coming to the end of the show, this performance was surprisingly better than the Jimmy Fallon one. Demi hit some high notes here that they actually avoided in the debut one.
I'm your mother. I'm your father. Easier, go easier on me.
Belts were so clean and Demi shows no effort at all hitting them. Her neck was lowered and relaxed, and this was in my top 3 vocal moments of the night for sure. Next, Happy Ending.
Sadness house. Took a look around and saw it didn't fit in.
This is such a song. I appreciate Demi's strength to sing it live because it's not that easy. They wrote this song when their life was such in a bad place, so props to Demi. This song is more emotionally impressive than vocally, at least live. Demi did not win above the mid-bowed area of their voice, but everything was beautifully sang. Last but not least, Cool for the Summer. This is a song I think we're all familiar with vocally. Transitions were on point, upper belts were on point, sustaining was on point. Well, that was it for today, guys. I'd like to thank the following people who could provide the videos for the show. If you don't follow me on Twitter, my user is down below, and I hope to see you here in the next vocal analysis video. Thank you so much for watching.